Hey you guys, here it is, finally the DIY Fringe banner tutorial. So basically I got these tablecloths from Walmart. They are $1. They had all the colors that I want for my room. So I have a total of 6 tablecloths. I'm going to flatten them out all together, laying them on my dining room table. Make sure you have the folded side on top are like away from you. And you want to make sure that the parts that open are facing towards you. This is the side that we're going to cut. I'll explain that a little better in a second. But I'm unfolding the tablecloths. As you can see, they're really long. I'm also watching kids in the pool at the same time. So I'm a little distracted. So just excuse that part. So here we are. I'm going to cut along the folded edge, right? So that there is no longer any folds on the side facing me. All of the folds are facing away from me. I'm making sure that I can see through the edge, and I'm going to cut. So essentially, again, the side that is closest to me, there will be no fold. The side that is further away from me, that's where the fold will be. That is actually the top of our Fringe banner. Okay, and so I'm going to use these scissors and cut all the way through to the end. All right, so follow my hand. To make sure I have the spacing correct, I'm gonna make this little, I don't know if this Star Wars or something, but this little sign, and I'm putting the banner in between my middle finger and my ring finger. That is going to be about 1 inch. And so if I'm cutting these within 1 inch, like cutting inch long strips or inch wide strips, then that means that I should get 6 strips per fold. I hope that's making sense. So you'll see, so I'm going to place the tablecloth between my ring finger and my middle finger, and I'm going to actually cut where the center of those fingers are. I'm going to cut there, and that should measure out to be 1 inch wide strip. The reason that's important is because you want your strips to be as close in size as possible. You don't have to measure them out. They don't have to be identical, but it will look weird if you have a super thick strip, right? That's like 3 inches, and then the next strip is 1 inch, and it's just not going to look good. It's not going to flow well. And so that's what I'm doing here. I literally cut every one of these strips using this method because it was just the easiest for me. I tried to use a ruler. I tried to use a tape measure. The things kept moving. It wasn't a fun time. And this is probably the part that takes the longest to do. So I wanted to find a way that was consistent. And for those of you who are perfectionists like me, if it's not exactly 1 inch in width, I'm sorry. It just matches with my fingers. And so that was just easier. So I'm going to cut all the way through. Again, don't forget, I'm only cutting the side that actually has no fold. And I'm actually not going to cut all the way up to the top where the fold is. I'm going to cut and leave maybe 2 inches because I'll show you how we're going to keep that together in just a moment. But so this is how we're actually creating the fringe by inch wide strips in the bottom piece. And so they're going to just start looking like, little French banner, but I'm making sure that the folds are still intact. If you cut too far, you're going to cut your fringe in half. And so the purpose of the folds is where that's going to hold our fringe together. And later on, we're actually going to staple that piece so that our fringe doesn't just fall off of our ribbon or whatever you're going to use. So for me, I did use the balloon ribbon. It was like $1 at Walmart too. So in all, I probably spent, I've got 6 tablecloths because I got 6 different colors, and each tablecloth actually made 2 banners for me because I'm going to cut them in half once the fringe is done. So I'll show you the picture from my classroom so you can see, but I only bought 6 tablecloths, and I bought the ribbon, which was everything was $1. So that's a total of $7. And maybe you don't use as many colors. Maybe you don't need yours as big as I needed mine. Walmart surprisingly was cheaper. And so, yeah, here we are cutting the fringe, making sure that I am taking my time. Once you get in a rhythm, these tablecloths cut so easily. But once you get it, you're going to hold it up, and then this is your fringe. This is your banner. Now, as you can see, it makes 2 rows. You can either keep that together, but I actually cut mine in half because I wanted 2 sets, if that makes sense. I could have unfolded this and made it one big set, but here is the finished product in my classroom. Like I said, out of 6 tablecloths, this is the total that we have. This is what this fringe banner looks like in the room. Hey, are you excited to try this DIY? I am so excited to see it and to experience it with you. So do me a favor. Once you finish and you get ready to post, go ahead and tag me at Keeping It Teacherish so I can see all of the goods. Also, make sure that you comment below. You can add a picture, whatever the case is. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments so I can try to help you out. I just cannot wait to see your classroom or your activity or your event, wherever you're using this fringe banner. It's super easy, super inexpensive, and you can do this. Until next time, this is Keeping It Teacherish.